Hi, folks. Okay, are Japanese really hate foreigners? Are they really hate foreigners? Because as you can see from the social media, a lot of people saying Japanese people don't like foreigners or treated them badly. Is it true? I don't know, but in this episode, I'm gonna talk about my experience in Japan and what happened to me. And yeah, I'm just gonna talk about my experience in Japan. And I'm not saying all of the foreigners or all of the tourists got treated the same as me. I just share my experience. So honestly, I believe that Japanese people are really private. I mean, some of them, maybe like most of the old one, not old, but like adult one. If they are teenage, they are more like curious and they just kind of like stare at you and not in a weird way. They just kind of like stare at you when you talk because you're not talking in Japanese. So this is the first story. So me and my older sister and her boyfriend, we were in a shop. I forgot the name. Maybe the name is drugstore. They were shopping and I was just looking around, like what to buy. So they were queuing up for paying the stuff that they want to buy. And I was just like yapping, okay, listen, I'm not that loud when I'm outside. Like, I'm not loud. I do know how to control my voice. But anyway, so there was someone queuing up behind them. Right. So I was just yapping, I'm just talking like, where do we gonna go? Where do we go after this? And, just talk about our plan and stuff. And that Japanese people behind us, he was kind of staring at me. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying like he's kind of like curious looking eyes. Like you can tell when they are curious or when they are judging you by their eyes. Their eyes is saying like, oh, they are speaking English. I'm just saying again, not in a bad way, but it's looking like they are curious and they're kind of like, oh, this is foreigner. And then after from the drugstore, we are going to Family Mart. After that, they are, buying something. They are doing gacha, and I'm not. I just bought like a beer and strawberry, and I was just waiting for them outside because inside there's a lot of people. And to be fair, maybe some of them are okay. Listen, I'm not judging. I'm just saying I just don't expect that Japanese people. Some of them are talking loud too. Like they are loud. I'm just saying. So I was waiting for my sister outside of 7-Eleven, and then there's like a group of like I don't know. I feel like they are like 25 years old people. They were like five people. They were talking so loudly, and wow, I don't know. I just shocked. Honestly, I'm like, oh damn. I am not expecting that Japanese people are like that too. You know what I mean? My expectation is like they are quiet and stuff. Yeah, a lot of people are more private. I'm not saying all of them, but I was waiting for my sister outside and there was someone like there was a lot of people in front of me, right? Like they were queuing up for another restaurant because there's a lot of restaurant all around my place or the place where I stand. And I was just like, minding my business and kind of like chill and wait for them. And I don't know, somehow there's two teenager. I feel like I don't know, they look like they are like 17 or something. They were Japanese. So they were staring at me. I don't know, like I just honestly don't get it. Like why are they staring at me? They kind of like stared at me maybe for like a couple of minutes and then they look away. I mean, I don't know if it's weird or normal, but if you are like staring at people for like a second or 2 seconds, it's just like normal, like because your eyes are just looking around. But if you're looking at someone for like a minute or 2 minutes, and that means like you are staring at them, you know what I mean? So after that, they look away. Just saying again, not in a weird way. And it's fine because it's not like the judging looking eyes. Anyway, the next one is so I was on my way to Osaka. As long as I can remember, we were going to Osaka and we were walking because we just have to walk for like 15 minutes. So I'm down for it. Since we are in Japan, I just want to like, look around and feel the street. So yeah, we were walking and then there was one worker. So he was kind of like building. I think he was like the manager, I don't know, or like the worker. So they were building a house, and I think it's his break time or something. He was standing, by the way. He was standing and he was holding like a cup of water, I think, or just a cup of drinks. Okay, so I was just walking past him, and he's smiling. He's like, "Give me that smile," and I honestly shocked. I'm like, "Oh." well, I don't expect Japanese people will smile at me. And I smiled at him back. And since that day, I'm like, oh damn, not all of Japanese people are rude or are not friendly with strangers or foreigner. That was unexpected, to be fair. And then the next one I'm gonna talk about are Japanese friendly. For the worker, like for the worker who work like in a 7-Eleven or they are working for just open a shop or in a restaurant or something. Mostly friendly. But you know who is rude? Okay, listen. I'm not judging. I just share my experience. So, when you are in 7-Eleven or store like that, not most, but like some of the worker who work there, they are not Japanese, but they talk Japanese. You know what I mean? They are not Japanese. They look like they are foreigner. I'm not gonna say where are they from, but they are not Japanese. I don't wanna say like the specific country because it's just not good. Most of them, not most of them, some of them are fucking rude. I'm just saying they are rude. Like, why are you being rude? So, for example, you are trying to pay for the things that you take. They kind of have like that expressions or like a rude looking face or kind of like they look like they don't want to work or they are lazy. And I don't like that. I'm gonna talk about the next experience. So we were hungry, like we were starved, okay? Since we walked for like a lot, we walked for like what 20,000 steps. We were hungry. We saw like a restaurant, so we just went in, right? And then blah blah blah. They asked us to sit in this table, and we did. And then my older sister's boyfriend, he ordered a soup, but he don't know that there's a pork inside. So he cannot eat pork, okay? 5 minutes ago, he ordered already, and then he just realized that there's a pork in there. So yeah, he started to like ask the waiter. He was like, "Oh, I ordered this. Can I cancel this order, or is it cooked? If it's cooked, it's okay." The waiter was like, "Oh, sorry, it's cooked. It's almost done." And we were like, "Oh, okay, it's fine." Okay. And then the food came, the soup came, and then we were like, "Oh, well, who can eat this? No one can eat this because I ordered mine and my older sister's order already." And then we were kind of like, "Oh shit, like no one's going to eat this. He will pay for the food." Obviously, even though he will not eat it. And then we were like, "Oh, this is such a waste." And three of us were thinking like, "Oh, what if we give this food to someone?" But in my mind, there's a two perspective in my mind. I'm like, first, they are gonna be like, "Oh, thank you." The second one, because Japanese people are really, really have a high pride, they will start to get mad or angry. And then, somehow we just asked the waiter to come and we were like, "Oh, we actually cannot eat this. What should we do with this? Should we just give to someone?" Or I'm just saying, okay, this is my experience. This waiter is not Japanese. I'm not gonna say which country where he from, but he is not Japanese. So he was like, "Oh, no, 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 you can't do that, whatever, blah 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 blah." And then he started to take the soup from our table, throw the food away to the trash. So the trash was besides us, like I don't know, like just besides us, like what like 10 steps away from us. And he threw away the food, boom, to the trash. And I was shocked. We were shocked. We were like speechless. So when he threw away the food in the trash, so another waiter was besides us. He was shocked too. He was like, I saw his expression. He was like shocked. He was like, oh, like, oh shit, something happened, that kind of face. And then, yeah, that was shocking, honestly, like really shocking. Like, if you just say like you can't do that or you can't give this food to somebody else. But yeah, when he threw away the food, he was like, "No, if you can't eat it, we just put it in the trash." And yeah, okay. I mean, like you can just put the food away to the trash when we are out from the restaurant. Like, why did you do that in front of us? Anyway, the waiter was staring besides us. He was shocked. And 5 minutes later, my food came, and the waiter that came with my food was the waiter stood beside us when all of that happened. Okay, so when he served or when he gave me my food, he gave me like extra smile. He looks like he felt bad for us because that experience happened to us or that happened to us. He was kind of like, "Oh, here you go," like extra friendly because he saw what happened to us earlier. Anyway, this waiter that brings my food, he was foreigner too. So, next story, I'm gonna talk about the train story. So, as you know, train station in Japan are full. Like not all of it, but like train station in Japan are just mostly really, really crowded. Like there's a lot of people and stuff. So it was like really crowded. Like it's really crowded. You can just lost in there. Okay, so the train came, boom. And then the worker, the train worker, he was like asking us, three of us, to go to the right way. So we were literally walking through a lot of people in front of them because we got asked to do that. And also behind us, there's also a lot of people are doing the same thing as us. Like we were just walking in front of people, like in front of people that is lining up for the train because we got asked by the worker. Like we have no choice. So we have to do that. And we just like, walk until the worker asks us to stop. Okay. And then when we stop, the train's door open. And yeah, that's true. We have to lining up from the back to go into the train because a lot of people are lining up or queuing up for it too. I'm saying it's crowded, like really crowded. Like you can't even like go back to the queue. Like it's too crowded. So when the door opened, the worker just asked us to go in. So yeah, we're just going straight into the train because we got asked for it. And also behind us, there's a lot of people. We cannot stop. Okay. And then when we are in the train, my older sister's face was like kind of like a mad and kind of like disappointed face. And I was like, bro, what happened? What happened? And she was like, yeah, so there was a Japanese woman there. He was talking back about us. And I was like, oh, what did she said? For short, my older sisters know Japanese. She used to learn Japanese. So she was like, yeah, so the woman was saying in Japanese, she was saying like, oh, these foreigners don't know any manners. Like, what a shame. Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, just, talking back about us in Japanese. But my older sister know Japanese or understand Japanese, so she understood what she said. And I was just answering my older sister. I was like, yeah, well, we have no choice. Like, we had no choice. First, we got asked to go in by the worker. Second, there's no way we can go back to the line and queuing up for the train because it was so crowded. We can't even go back to the line. So, yeah, I mean, that happened, Alright, the next one, I'm gonna talk about Ichiran Ramen. I don't know if I pronounce it right or not, but we were queuing up for Ichiran Ramen. So before you go in, there's a big screen where you can like order your food. I was just searching like, oh, what's in the soup, whatever. And I was Googling, okay? Meanwhile, there was three people queuing up for ordering the food as well. I felt bad because they are waiting for me. Like there's three people behind me and I'm just like Googling. Like that is dumb. That's what I think. And I felt bad. And I was like, I just like stepped back. And I was like, oh, you guys can order first. And I guess they understood me because I give them a sign or they just can speak in English. And they were like kind of like really appreciate that so much. Like, I don't know, but they are like really, really appreciate that so much. They were like, oh, thank you, thank you. They were like, ah, arigatou gozaimasu. So they are teenage. They are three guys and teenage. They are teenager. So they were like, ah, arigato. Like they just looks like, I don't know, like really appreciate that moment so much. And then after I Google in the, besides them, oh yeah, I know the ingredients ready. Like I know what to order now. And yeah, I'm just like queuing up behind them. So there's like three people, right? There's like two more people, right? And the other one was ordering his food. And I was just like queuing up behind them. And guess what? His friends, so one of them are like kind of like pushing his friend and asked me to go first. And I was like, oh, thank you. I'm like, oh, I was saying in Japanese, I'm like, ah, arigatou gozaimasu. I'm just saying like, thank you so much. And yeah, it just seems like they appreciate that moment so much. After we ordered, we have to wait to get our table. Okay, we just sat there. Me and my older sister sat, and three of them are sitting besides me, like 5 steps away from me. And three of them are not three of them, but like two of them. Two of them are, staring at me, and they kind of like talk to each other. And then when my eyes are looking at them, they are smiling to me, and I was like smiling back. And yeah, that happened. I know it's just a simple thing, but like I don't know why, but they just looks like really appreciate that moment so much. Appreciate the moment that I give them my turn to order. But anyway, all right, the next one. This is gonna be like a long one, and this is gonna be the last one, the last story. So I was in the Shinkansen train. I was going to Edo Wonderland. So it took like an hour long train. And then yeah, I just sat there and I was wishing I was wishing there's no one besides me, sat besides me. Because honestly, I love being alone. But anyway, I hope no one's besides me, whatever. 15 minutes later, there was a woman sat beside me. I was like, oh, there's someone, it's fine. So she's Japanese. She also on a trip with two of her friends. And I feel like they are the same age, I suppose. Maybe like 10 minutes later, they are talk about Bali. And my older sister heard that and she was like, oh, Bali, we are from Bali. They were like, huh? Bali. Like they were shocked. So since that, I talk a lot with the woman besides me. We just talk about like random things. We talk about a lot of things, honestly. She was like, oh, I went to Bali 2 years ago. Okay, cut. I'm gonna stop you there. So I honestly shocked that this woman can speak English because, mostly Japanese people cannot speak English. Like I was shocked. I'm like, oh, you can speak English and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, I was asking because I'm a curious person. And I was like, oh, how old are you, by the way? And she was like, oh, I'm 23. And she was like, oh, and you? How about you? And I was like, okay, take a guess. I love when someone like guessing my age because it's just funny. And she was like staring at me, kind of like scanned my face. And she asked her friends, two of her friends, to guess my age too. So two of her friends cannot speak English. So she kind of like translate the things that I talk about to them. They were like, hmm. So three of them are saying like, 14 or 15. And I was like, no, I'm 20. And oh my god, it's so funny because three of them are like, eh? Honto? Like, hontoni? Like, really? Like, it's just, I'm just gonna translate for you. Um, cause I know like a little tiny Japanese, a simple one. But I'm just gonna translate for you. They were like, eh? Really? Is it true? Like, what? Really? Like, that kind of, they were saying that in Japanese. And then, I was like, yeah, I know it's insane. A lot of people saying like I'm a kid, I look like a kid. And the woman besides me was saying like, yeah, you don't look like you're 20. You look so young. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, maybe because I'm short too. And she was like, no, your face is young. And I was like, oh, thank you. I don't know. I just took that as a compliment. So me and this woman besides me, we talked for like an hour, I could say. Honestly, two of us had a lot in common. And well, we arrived, we got separated, but before we separated, she was asking for my Instagram, and I was like, oh, this is my Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And then I asked her to take a picture with me, kind of like a take a selfie together because, it's gonna be our memory. And maybe we will not meet again. Who knows? But she's saying like she wants to go to Bali. So, I mean, I don't know when. Anyway, ting, blah, blah. We took a picture. We talked in Instagram too, blah, blah, blah. And then a couple of days later, I was like, hold on a second. I don't know this woman's name. I don't know her name. I mean, like from her username, maybe that's her name. I was texting her. I'm like, oh, it's so funny because we talked for a while. We talked for a long time, but we haven't asked each other's name. I'm not gonna tell you her name because, for privacy reason. And she was like, oh, right. I never told you my name. Ha ha ha. I'm blah, blah, blah. What's yours? So yeah, that is the moment where we know each other's name. Oh my god. That means when we were talking, we had a lot of fun until we forgot to ask each other's name. So yeah, that was my experience in Japan. And I'm not saying all of them or all of the tourists or all of the people have or got the same experience as me. But I'm just saying, not all of Japanese people are rude, or not all of Japanese people are just, don't like foreigner. Some of them, they kind of like appreciate foreigner. Some of them are good or being kind or friendly with foreigner. I could say like for the friendly part, maybe if they are like adult people, not the old one, they are friendly, I could say. So yeah, that was my experience. So yeah, I'm gonna see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening. Honestly, I appreciate you so much, like so much. Okay, I'm gonna end this episode. I'm gonna end this podcast. Bye.